Guys, it's me, Smile McGee, and like basically every Sunday, it's time for Come Follow Me in Quarantine Week 13. So I don't know why, but preparing the lesson was really hard this week. Like I read through it and it was really good, but nothing was sticking out to me. And then as I was trying to prepare, y'all know I ended up in the emergency room yesterday. So that put a big shift in my plans. But gratefully I've been able to manage the migraine symptoms and the only doctor I've needed is Dr. Pepper. So that is a first this week. And then as I just pondered and prayed about what I should talk about this week, a memory came to my mind. So as y'all know, when I was, well, it was a while, but about 5 years back, I was completely IV dependent for food and nutrition. And during that time, I was so sick. So freaking sick. Every little thing I tried to eat just automatically came back up, and it was the medically hardest time of my life. And well, during that, I would want to go to church and would want to take the sacrament, but whenever I did, I'd have to leave and just end up puking my face off and feeling awful. But anyway, it got to the point I was so sick where I just didn't go to church. I didn't feel good enough. I knew if I take the sacrament, I was gonna just puke it, and I was so sick I got nothing out of it, so what was the point, you know? So I didn't go to church for about 3 months, which was the longest I've ever not been to church. And I don't remember what happened. I think I got a new medication that just alleviated my symptoms slightly. Like, I was still IV fed, but it turned down the misery like 10 points. And I finally felt good enough to go to church. And oh my gosh, I still remember vividly my first day back at church. Like, when I walked through those doors, such a peace and a calm and a joy filled my heart. It might as well have been the doors of heaven. And then when I came to the chapel to walk in and the greeter shook my hand and was like, "Sister, how are you?" I finally understood in my church why we call each other brother and sister, because it felt like I was returning to family. And then hearing it, like the organ play, singing with the organ, like the whole congregation, and when I was finally able to take the sacrament and not puke it up, it took everything in me not to burst into tears. Today's Come Follow Me lesson is about having a change of heart, and at that moment, I felt it. Because, like us all, I took church for granted, and at that moment, I swore to myself that I would always remember how I'd feel, that I'd make every Sunday like this Sunday, and I would never take church for granted again. But did I do that? No. Because I am flawed and I am human. Once I got into the routine of going back to church again, like everything that becomes routine, we take it for granted. And I found myself having those thoughts, do I really want to go to church or do I want to sleep in? How about I just hit the sacrament and then we go for a family drive later? All of those little intrusive thoughts that make it so you're not where you're supposed to be. But as I love church, but the years have gone by and I've taken church for granted. And now, as I've taken church for granted, boom, nationwide well, not nationwide, a freaking worldwide pandemic hits. And it's been a challenge not going to church. I've missed it more than anything. And the world right now is facing so many challenges. But I can't help, with having a mighty change of heart on my mind with this lesson, I can't help but think that if a situation doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. I found myself reflecting over my own challenges in my life. Y'all know I've had a couple. And I've been like, okay, has this challenge made me better or bitter? And I see what the world is facing right now, especially with the current social movements. There's a lot of hatred, a lot of finger pointing on both sides, so much anger, so much contention. I can't tell you how many insults have just been called this week. And I can't help but think, as a world, are we going to let these trials, these challenges, make us better or make us bitter? Are we as a society going to trust God. Personally, like, think of all this for yourselves. Through all this, through 2020, through the challenges in your life, do you turn to God and know that He can make you better through this? Or are you mad that He gave you this trial in the first place and just bitter? Are you letting the situations in your life make you better or bitter? I know personally at times, just this a week even, I've cried at God, wondering why? Why do I have to be this sick? Why does the world have to be so messed up? Why do I feel like not enough, like 80% of the time? And I used to think that having, like, those moments where you scream at God, having questions, made it that you were becoming bitter. But as long as you turn to God in those times, you're becoming better. Every time we turn to Him during times of turmoil, it's a sign that we're ready to grow and we're ready to learn and we're ready to become who He wants us to be. And right now, during this time of challenges, conflicting opinions, so much controversy, I challenge you to turn to Him. In a world where the voices are so loud, they drown out all the sound around you, turn to Him. See what His opinion is. See just how highly He thinks of you when the whole world's calling you names. The challenge this week, I guess, would be for that mighty change of heart that I hope to have and I hope us all to have, and I think we can have multiple in our lives. The first step is turning to God. So this week, turn to Him in your times where you're overwhelmed, where you're sad, where you're anxious, where you're depressed, where you don't feel like you're enough. Turn to Him in your times of joy, of celebration, of gratitude. Remember Him in all you do, and you'll be able to testify of His love and His caring for you. You will be able to see His hand in all things. I've had times in my life where I've been really good at this, and lately I haven't been. So it's a challenge for myself this week too. I am just so grateful, especially during times of turmoil. And let's face it, 2020 is just a big giant freaking game of Jumanji. I'm glad we have a Heavenly Father who sees the whole picture when we only see one stroke of the painting. Trust Him, turn to Him, and as always, smile on. If you liked this video, feel free to share it. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all the things. I'm just, again, hoping to add a little positivity to a world full of a lot of negativity. So feel free to share any of my stuff. Feel free to tag Al Caraway in one of my videos, because she's kind of my hero. And if anyone could tell me what I could do better in these, it would be her. I'm grateful for this little opportunity to share my faith and my testimony with y'all every week. And when the world returns to normal, I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna do this. Just trust God, guys. Take the challenge. And if you have a cool experience this week as you begin to get to know your Heavenly Father, or anytime, if you have a cool experience where you get to know your Heavenly Father more, I want to hear about it. Comment, send me a DM, let your faith grow. Thank you again, and